into a new year, and people are hoping for some good news. It's been a very tough economic time. We know the price of groceries, the price of fuel, everyday essentials have really skyrocketed this year. And of course, the Fed, trying to tamp down inflation, is raising interest rates because that's what they do. That's their tool.
Right. But how does all of that affect the economy and also the housing market, and what will that look like in 2023?
Joining us to discuss this is International Chief Economist and Real Estate Advisor at Nest Seekers, Erin Sykes. Erin, great to have you in with us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we want to use your crystal ball here, your expertise. A lot of people, unfortunately, the rising interest rates, it's made them hard to buy. People want to know what could happen in 2023, and if there are some hot markets. What are you seeing as sort of the next, Q1 ahead for folks who may be in the market to buy or sell?
So I think number one thing to remember is that real estate is local. We tend to use these macro charts and say, this crystal ball is forecasting the same thing across the board. But that's not true. There are going to continue to be hot markets, and then there are going to be markets that show even more of a slowdown than others. So I think the things that we know are likely going to happen. Inflation is sticky. It's going to stick around. Rates, I think, have actually peaked. I don't think that mortgage rates are going to go much higher. I think we're going to sit around where we are for a while. And I think that we've learned that we can't always trust that the Fed is going to do exactly what they predict that they are going to do, because they tend to change their mind at the last minute. So, don't put all of your eggs in the basket of them raising rates, another 50 basis points next month, because, there's a 50-50 chance they'll do it or they won't. So I think, use your own common sense and be your own best advocate when looking to purchase a home.
Good advice. And also, talking about local, the National Association of Realtors named Atlanta a city to watch in 2023. Do you have any what's hot, what's not on your radar, Erin?
Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of those markets that continued from, COVID lockdowns, the transition down to Georgia, down to Florida, down to Tennessee, Texas, et cetera. We will still consider those markets hot regions. Now, we're not going to see year over year growth of 20%. We might see pullbacks of 5 or 10%. But in the grand scheme of things, if your home has appreciated in value 30% in the last year, if you see a 10% pullback, geez, you're really still doing quite well. So in cities like Atlanta and like West Palm Beach and Miami and Austin, Dallas, Houston, et cetera, you have the ability to live a more suburban lifestyle, but commute into the city. And as we see return to office starting to happen, and people realizing that in order to get those promotions and to really, get the raises that we're all out for, you've got to be in front of your boss. You can't do that from just a computer screen in your home. So I think that we're going to see this flexitarian work-life balance continue, but the hustlers are really going to get themselves back in the office.
Yeah, and I think it was a great point you made about the housing prices. My wife and I just bought here in Boca. You mentioned West Palm Beach. I'm hoping Boca continues to be a pretty hot market. That's the research that we did. But I want to transition to another variable in all this, and it has to do with gas prices. We're starting to see gas prices, hallelujah, drop below four bucks right now. In fact, the national average is $3.19. What's your take? Do you think fuel prices could increase again to over $4 and even hit $5? What do you think?
Yeah, and so that I think is really up in the air. And I'm actually in the same boat as you. I live in West Palm Beach, and I just drove by a gas station this morning and it said 305. And I was like, whoa, that felt really good to see that. However, I think with all of the commotion going on in Ukraine and Russia and what happened, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, we still have a lot of international uncertainty that will affect gas prices. So I think what is fair to keep in mind going forward is that your life is more expensive now than it was a year or two ago, significantly, and it will continue to be more expensive. So, people are putting more on credit cards, which is a real warning sign, because we had our savings rate and our lowest usage of credit cards during the pandemic. People were finally stockpiling cash and investing in themselves, and now things have turned the other direction. So I think that, be smart, think long term. Right. Housing continues to be the number one way to build wealth in the United States. Yeah. And I think, if you have an option to buy versus rent, it's still a great option to buy.
Erin
Here.
Sykes, we appreciate your insight. And
Great insight.
Yeah, hopefully
Thank
people
you,
can save a little cash. Obviously, not all of us can be in St. Croix for the holiday week under this Biden administration. Great to have you.
You're just jealous.
Thanks so much. Tough times out there for real Americans. Thank you. And stay with us. We're coming right back after a quick break.